Under the darkness of night, in a dense jungle cave, two figures trembled as shadows moved around, announcing the arrival of ancient hunters. For these hunters, the snake people were nothing more than monsters that needed to be hunted and destroyed. Asa and Osei, who had always been cautious, believed they had skillfully evaded the relentless hunters. Little did they know, farmers had seen them in the forest and were suspicious of their true nature. And so, young hunters were dispatched to verify this suspicion. As the night air thickened with tension, the first clash erupted. Swords clashed against fangs. The once familiar sounds of the jungle transformed into a mixture of snarls, hisses, and the metallic ring of weapons meeting scales. Asa and Osei, caught by surprise, fought side by side, their bodies moving in a graceful dance of survival. Sweat mixed with the shimmering scales on Asa's forehead, as she held off a hunter's blade with the agility of a serpent. Osei, ever the fierce defender, lunged at the attackers, his fangs bared in a primal display of defiance. The hunters, now facing a more formidable resistance than they anticipated, hesitated for a moment, enabling Asa and Osei to swiftly escape into the many cave tunnels, which they had grown to know so well. You are watching the Tales of the Savannah. Subscribe and be part of the tribe. Now, let's get back to the story. Asa, bloodied and tired from their narrow escape, sat beside Osei in the dimly lit cave, the battle with the hunters still playing in her ears. She watched Osei as he cleaned his wounds, his serpent-like eyes reflecting a mix of excitement and tiredness. Osei, she spoke softly, her voice trembling with exhaustion and despair. We cannot keep living like this. We deserve more than a life on the run, constantly evading those who seek to destroy us. Osei looked up at Asa. I understand your desire for something permanent. But this life, it gives me purpose. The thrill of the fight, the constant danger, it ignites something within me. Osei, she began, I've come to a decision. Osei tilted his head to face her. What is it? He asked, with curiosity. It's time we created a place where our kind can flourish without fear. I don't know, Asa. This life, the unpredictability, it's become a part of me. Asa's voice quivered. I love you, Osei. But I can't keep living like this, always fearing for our lives. To achieve this dream, we have to leave our current life behind and gather all the snakes together. That way, if the hunters find us, our numbers can protect us from. Asa's voice trailed off as she tried to convey her vision. That's a crazy dream, Asa. It's one that needs time and the convincing of many parties to bring to life. Besides, leaving the safety of these caves is exposing ourselves fully to the hunters. We can find another way. We can stay together and figure something out. Don't leave me for this, it's too risky, Asa, please. Asa sighed, feeling the weight of Osei's plea, torn between her love for Osei and the need for a safer life. Osei, gripping her hand, whispered, this dream of yours, it's tearing us apart already. I can't lose you. We can find safety together, here, without taking such a risk. As Asa gently pulled away, a tear escaping her eye, she said, I have to try. For us and for all the snake people. Osei looked into her eyes, recognizing the unwavering determination within them. He knew he had to let her go. I'm not ready for change yet. When I am, I'll find you, Osei said, his voice a mixture of sadness and hope. With those words, Asa left, leaving Osei behind, her heart heavy with the ache of parting, and the uncertainty of the path that lay ahead. In the midst of a clearing filled with serpents, a woman stood with passion blazing in her eyes as she addressed them. Snakes from near and far had gathered to hear her speak, drawn by rumors of her dream to unite the various snake species under one banner. She held firm to the belief that together, they could form an indomitable force, capable of claiming vast territories and coexisting peacefully. My reptilian brothers and sisters, I am grateful for your presence, she spoke with unwavering confidence. I come to you with a vision to unify our kind. A black mamba, intrigued yet skeptical, interjected with a hiss. But you, human, are not one of us. What gives you the authority to summon us? I am Asa, she declared proudly, descended from a lineage of snake people. Our ancestors, gifted by the serpent deity herself, once reigned supreme over the world. But now, our numbers dwindle, hunted relentlessly by human hunters. Noble serpents, Asa declared, humans threaten not just my kind, but yours too. We face the same danger. Answer me this, my brethren. Do humans let you near them or their children, or do they chase you away on sight? wielding sticks and stones, aiming to separate your head from your body. Asa questioned, her voice heavy with the bitter truth of their shared reality. Echoes of agreement reverberated throughout the forest, affirming Asa's proposition. Yet, a python rose to pose a question, its tone skeptical. Why should we follow you, and not the anaconda, the largest among us? The python gestured toward the sleeping anaconda, eliciting murmurs of disappointment from the gathered snakes. Asa responded, leadership isn't about the biggest among us, but the one with the vision to carry an idea into reality. The snakes hissed in agreement, the unity of purpose echoing through the jungle. Alone, we are vulnerable. Together, we are invincible. Let's unite against their cruelty, creating a sanctuary where freedom reigns. Our scales, fangs, and spirits together can defy those who seek to harm us. This is our shared journey, reclaiming our right to exist freely in this world. Will you stand with me? As murmurs of agreement rippled through the assembly, Asa's smile widened. This moment had been hard-earned, with tireless efforts from cave to mountain, seeking out all types of snakes for this crucial meeting. Some were initially hesitant, but curiosity prevailed, and most had gathered. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. Asa had discovered an isolated island, a sanctuary where every snake would be welcome. However, the initial days were challenging. The snakes struggled to relate to each other, their diverse backgrounds creating barriers to unity. Determined to find a solution, Asa thought on how to unite them, much like games did for humans. Then, an idea struck her. Gladiator matches with the humans. It was a bold move, but Asa believed it could bridge the gap between the snakes, fostering unity and solidarity in their newfound home. And so, Asa approached the Mare King with a humble request. I have a favor to ask, O great king, Asa began respectfully. But before Asa could utter another word, the king interrupted her with a stern expression. Asa, before you speak, we have a problem here. Your snakes are unruly. They encroach upon our territory and swim in our waters. This is the one thing we agreed upon. Boundaries, Asa. Your snakes are getting bigger and more fearsome. What sort of hybrid experiments are you doing over there? Asa sighed, acknowledging the king's concerns. That is precisely why I'm here. I need your help. My leadership is failing. I can't even get them to agree on one thing, she confessed, the weight of frustration evident in her voice. I want to establish gladiator games to unify the snakes, to focus them on something. To make them see that other snakes are not the enemy, but humans are. The king raised an eyebrow, his patience wearing thin. You still haven't asked for the favor, he said impatiently. Asa hesitated for a moment before speaking. I ask that, for a time. Occasionally, a human male finds his way into our sanctuary, with your help. The king's eyes widened in disbelief. Stop right there. You are proposing we kidnap humans for you, he asked, bewildered. Yes, Asa replied confidently. Occasionally is the key word here. Besides, you already do abduct humans. What is a few more going to do? The king's expression darkened, his voice dripping with warning. Asa, you forget yourself and where you are. A good leader is not careless with her words. You are still finding your leadership style. I will forgive this disrespect only this once. Asa held her ground. What do I benefit from this? The king demanded. You get peace of mind. You get no more encroachment of boundaries, Asa replied firmly. The king nodded reluctantly. Very well. I shall oblige. And so, a new era began on Snake Island, with the introduction of gladiator fights and the occasional drifting men into the sanctuary. Asa's plan worked like a charm. The snakes embraced the games, discussing the matches for weeks afterward and eagerly anticipating the next one. Asa smiled, proud of her accomplishments. However, her triumph was short-lived. One day, a man drifted into the sanctuary and, to everyone's shock, won against their very own warrior snake, Baco. According to their tradition, the winner would be set free. But Asa realized the danger this posed. If word got out to the hunters of an actual sighting of the snake people, they would descend upon the island. But this time, Asa vowed not to be a victim. As she watched the victorious human leave the sanctuary, a fire ignited within her. This was the reason for their unification, to stand strong against any threat. Let them come, she thought with a determined smile. If the hunters dared to descend upon their sanctuary, they would meet not fear, but fierce resistance. Asa was ready to lead her serpentine warriors into battle, defending their newfound home with every ounce of strength and determination they possessed. The era of fear was over. Now, it was time for the hunters to tremble in the face of the united serpentine army. "Osei, I wish you were here to see this and be part of this world," Asa whispered to the waters, her words carried by the gentle breeze. With a hopeful heart, she cast her wish upon the currents, hoping that one day fate would reunite them, bringing Osei back to her side where he belonged. And that, my dear tribe members, concludes yet another episode in our Snake Island series. If you'd like to catch up on previous episodes, check out the description and/or the comments section for earlier stories. Now, for the lesson of the day. The African proverb that resonates with this story is, "If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together." This means that while individual actions may lead to swift progress, true success and lasting change can only be achieved through collaboration and unity. As always, thank you for watching our story, Becoming Snake Queen, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time, in the Savannah.